we can entirely account for each and every child with the tagging and notification of deaths. So clear account of the summary is, out of the 11 deaths that happened between Wednesday to 11th and 17th of September, that is how many days? 6 days. We had 244 deliveries and 11 deaths. And I want to account for the 11 deaths. Out of the 11 deaths, fresh stillbirths, which we say fetus with no signs of life, weighing less than 1,000 kgs, were 1,000 grams, were 4. Fresh stillbirths were 4. 2 were macerated stillbirths. And these 2 stillbirths were weighing 2.2 kg and 3.5 kg respectively. The other 4 were basically neonatal deaths. And out of the 4, the causes were purely, number 1, birth asphyxia. Number 2, referrals from health centers like Mukuru, where the kids scored badly on ABGA, and prematurity of 32 weeks with a child weighing less than 1.7 kgs, and then another child weighing who was 32 weeks, also weighing 1.6 kg, and by the time the child was brought, came with respiratory distress and sepsis. And the last one, I've said 11, I've accounted for 10, was a child who was brought in dead by a Kenyan, so that Mama Lucy, Pumwani Hospital can safely dispose the child.
So I want to point out that we have a designated room, and that is where the bodies were found. And we have to make do with the resources that we have to make sure that we package the bodies in a way that they can be transported for suitable storage and disposal in the city mortuary.
So just one question which you not answer. Could any of these deaths have been prevented if the hospital, as you say, was better equipped?
Now, one thing that we have to agree, none of those deaths occurred out of lack of emergency services. So because as you have heard, they could have been better operational efficiency if some of the doctors that were on call could be reached on time. But from the reports that we have received, the doctor was available, and none of those deaths occurred out of circumstances which could not be managed within the hospital. As you have seen, 4 of them were stillbirths. That means the babies were already lifeless by the time they were being delivered.